When I asked you if you were interested in helping me with this, you told me that Hosea was, I think the way you put it was deeply personal. What did you mean by that?
Well, when I got saved as a consequence, and let's just put it that way, of God cutting short my first marriage, and my ex-wife just, you know, started running around, and um, and then just basically walked out. It took us a while to, it's probably a year and a half or something, because I have a daughter with her, and
Yeah.
that was so heartbreaking that I can remember. I was talking to a friend about what was going on, and he goes, yes, he says, maybe you should like read Hosea. Well, that was a big mistake. But it wasn't, because it settled in my heart for the rest of my life now, being faithful to our God. And
Because you knew what it felt like to have someone not be faithful to you.
yeah, it's horrifying, and that it's the mighty God. I had zero ability to do anything in that situation, except just let it go and go live with the consequences, which were my consequences. I mean, the relationship was started when I was unsaved, and it just, it wasn't a very good situation from that respect.
Hosea is a prophet from the north, right? He's from Israel, the northern 10 tribes, and he's prophesying right before the collapse of the north, before the Assyrians come in. He's sort of like the final prophet from the north, but he's also talking to Judah, the southern 2 tribes, while he's prophesying what's going on to the 10 northern tribes right before Assyria comes.
Well, I think it's even during, it's even during when Assyria comes.
Okay. Israel's in the middle of her infidelity, and here comes God.
Well, Israel was never anything but.
It's interesting how Kings and Chronicles lists 20 kings on each side, the north and the south. And yeah, Israel had 0 for 20 righteous kings.
He tells Hosea to go take for yourself a wife of harlotry and have children of harlotry, for the land commits flagrant harlotry, forsaking the Lord. And what that is the idol worship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's God, in fact, then finally judges. Well, and what comes with that idol worship is just flagrant unlawlessness, which means, people lying to other people, stealing, it was in a lawless land. And here they are, they're God's chosen people. And
it's funny how one sin leads to another. I've always found it fascinating that the addict also by definition becomes the liar, and the adulterer by definition becomes the liar and the deceiver. And in order to prop one sin up, we have to play games with and deceive those that we're close to.
This is what I wrote down. You're a whore, and I'm done with you for now, because he's a faithful God. But the consequences.
This is getting into kind of the results of, or the fruit of our idolatry, like what it does to our lives. And I'll go ahead and read it. 8, 7, and 8. They sow the wind, they reap the whirlwind. The stalk has no head, it will produce no flower. Were it to yield grain, foreigners would swallow it up. Israel is swallowed up. Now she is among the nations like something no one wants. And I don't know what people are going after when they cheat, but that's what they end up with. They end up with nothing. And they end up becoming nothing. In this case, everything that's supposed to produce fruit doesn't, and now they're not even a people. And the ultimate result of Israel's worship of other gods is that they blended in to the nations, and they like disappeared.
What is really powerful in this, to me, is then says, yet the number of the sons of Israel will be like the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured or numbered. And in the place where it was said to them, you are not my people, it will be said to them, you are the sons of the living God. And that is us. We're the Israel of that prophetic word. But when he puts Hosea pretty much through this thing, Hosea is just, you can imagine he's just heartbroken because he has a couple kids, and then she likes things more than relationships. She likes to, she gets paid for her harlotry. So it is awful when that happens to you. To me, it's horrible. And I was living, in that time, pleading with the Lord to restore things, and he didn't. He chose. Well, I say he didn't. There's man's choice there.
She didn't.
Yeah, but at the same time, you look to him to change hearts, and I think there was a time when it was close, where my ex-wife just almost decided to work it out. But she knew too that my Christianity was it was a done deal for me, and there wasn't, that she was no longer the God in my life.
Yeah,
and